Hi, I'm Stefan Kesting from GrappleArts.com, and today we're going to cover 10 different ways to shrimp and improve your hip movement on the ground. So, everyone says, move your hips on the ground, right? This is the key to Jiu-Jitsu, this is the key to grappling. And one of the ways to develop that hip movement is with a series of exercises called shrimping. A lot of people only know one or two methods. Today we're going to cover 10 methods. The first, most basic method is I'm lying like this. I'm going to be moving towards my head. My hands are up, both legs are out. I'm going to turn onto my side. I'm going to bring both feet up to my butt. Then I'm going to lift my hips up off the ground. My hips are not on the ground. I'm going to lift my hips up and pivot on my shoulder and both feet. I'm going to move my hips back. I'm pushing an imaginary opponent away. I'm going to straighten out, go to the other side. I bring my feet up. I lift up on my shoulder a little bit. This makes my hips free to move. You can put a piece of paper under here. And I move this way. Basically, my butt moves in the direction that I want it to travel. So we're here, feet, and push. Here, bring the feet up, turn on the side, push, and move. The second method is similar to the first, but subtly different and somewhat more combative, because this is exactly the movement you might use for getting out of mount in an elbow knee escape. So instead of bringing both feet up like I did before, I bring one foot up, ball of the foot. I turn on my side, and then I'm going to do the same hip escape, but dragging this foot, basing off this foot, dragging this foot here. So on my back, I bring up one foot only, turn a bit, here. On my back, one foot only, ball of the foot, here. Very, very common when people do this, to try and bring this foot up and then turn this way and shrimp like that. That's wrong. Bring the foot up, turn away from that foot, and then drag this leg on the ground up this way. That's the second method, the one-legged shrimp. The third method of shrimping really looks a lot like getting out of side control. Before I was shrimping backwards and doing it on the left, on the right, on the left, on the right. This time, I'm only going to do it on one side. So I'm going to move this way sideways. I'm lying on my side, kind of in a bit of a fetal position, how you might be underneath someone's side mount. I'm going to simultaneously move my feet and my shoulders back, so I'm arched. Now I'm going to lift up the weight on my shoulder and my feet and move my hips back. So shoulders and feet move together, hip moves back, and again, I'm pushing away. Shoulder and feet move together. I'm bending this way, now I bend the other way. So sideways shrimping, it's like you're trying to get away from somebody like that. The fourth method of shrimping is forward shrimping. The other methods so far have been moving backwards, moving towards my head. Here I'm moving towards my feet. I'm moving towards you. The way I like to think of this is I'm escaping from north-south position. And it's a little bit trickier than the other ones, but you can totally get it. So, you're going to start out by lying flat with your heels out, and you flat on your back, your hands up in almost a home alone position. I'm going to turn on my side while bringing my shoulder a little bit down towards my hips. My weight is on my heels. So I'm here. I'm going to pivot on the shoulder while pulling my hips towards my feet. Here, I'm going to be pushing up. I'm going to lie flat, roll onto my shoulder, bring my shoulder towards my waist a little bit, and then move up while pushing. So extending my legs, moving my hips. Extending my legs, moving my hips. Extending my legs, moving my hips. Keep on working on this one, and I'm sure you'll get it. The fifth method of shrimping is what I call box shrimping. It's not a new method of shrimping. You know all the four types already, but you're combining them. So it's a really good drill. You can do it down the length of a mat, across the mat, back down the mat, and across the mat again. You can do a big box. I don't have that much room here, so we'll do a little box. So we're going to start out with basic backward shrimping. One-legged, two-legged, doesn't matter. So shrimping, shrimping, shrimping. Shrimp down to the end of the mat. Now I'm going to move sideways. So the feet and the shoulders go back, feet and shoulders, hips, feet and shoulders, hips, feet and shoulders, hips. Now I'm going to do forward shrimping. So my heels come out, My shoulder crunches down. Here, 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 here. Now, when I'm down at the end of the mat, I'm going to move this way, sideways shrimping on the other side from where I was before. Now I go back to either single or double-legged regular shrimping here, box shrimping, forward shrimping, and sideways shrimping. So I'm practicing 3 basic types of shrimping, or 4 if you combine single and double-legged backward shrimping into one drill. It's a great way to practice shrimping. The 6th method of shrimping, again, combines a couple of different movements. In this case, the bridge and the shrimp. At first, often you can get away with just a single shrimping movement against a beginner. But against someone more advanced, you need to make space with the bridge first. So here, I'm going to bring my feet in, balls at the feet. I'm going to bridge up, and then I'm going to shrimp. I'm going to straighten out, feet in, bridge up as high as I can, and then shrimp. Feet in, bridge, shrimp. Feet in, bridge. See, I'm on the balls of my feet. That gives me a little bit of extra distance and sets me up very nicely for the shrimping component that comes next. I found the next method of shrimping that we're going to cover super useful for people who are trying to learn the basic way of escaping from the side mount, which is putting them back in the guard. You do need a wall though. So I'm going to start out, I'm going to stand out pretty close to the wall, both feet here. I'm going to bridge and I'm going to try and touch my belly button to the wall here. I won't probably be able to do it unless I'm crazy flexible, but what I've done is I'm trying to hit the wall this way so that I can move my hips back that way and create space. So I'm going to bridge into the wall, then I'm going to shrimp my hips out. See all the room here? I bring my knee in, and then I can put the person back into my guard. From this side, we're here, there's a couple of inches between the wall and I, bring my feet in, I bridge, now I'm going to move my hips out. There's lots of room to bring this bottom knee in, and I can spin and put my imaginary sparring partner back into my guard. So the steps are feet in, bridge, escape the hips, knee in, and regard. Feet in, bridge, hips out, knee in, regard. The classic mistake people make in side mount is they bridge up. If you're side mounted on me, I don't want you up. I want you sideways. I want you away from me so I can put you in my guard. So bridging up and then moving the hips is pretty good. But bridging sideways and knocking you that way, and then I escape this way. So if I knock you this way and then go that way, I've got lots of room here. I've got a lot more room to play with, to be in my guard, to take a leg, to get out. So this teaches the idea of bridging sideways as well as escaping the hips afterwards. It's a super useful drill. The 8th method of shrimping is a shrimp and turn out. You might use this to escape from underneath somebody and come up on a single leg, or come up to base, or stand up. So you're going to do a one-legged shrimping motion, which we did right at the very, very beginning. But instead of coming here, I'm going to take this leg and bring it underneath my other leg. I'm going to take this leg and bring it underneath that leg and turn out to a tripod position on my shoulder. So we're here, here. I'm going to step back through, bring the foot in for a shrimp. Now I'm going to take this leg, the leg that's straight, and bring it under this leg, the leg that's bent. I shrimp, and I come out to a tripod position. Leg in, shrimp, tripod. Leg in, shrimp, and tripod. Leg in, shrimp, and tripod, and come back. So that's a really useful movement when you can't put the person back in your guard, but maybe you can make enough room by shrimping and then come out onto your knees, hopefully grab a single leg and wrestle your way out of a bad position. in the first 8 methods that we covered, we were pretty much flat on the ground. But that's not the only position you can shrimp in. You can also shrimp from your elbow. And this becomes super important for guard retention. If somebody's there and they're passing my guard, I might establish a frame, sit up. While I sit up, establish my frame, bring my hips in, and then scoot back and put them back into the guard. I use this all the time. It's one of my main guard retention methods. I learned it, or it was formalized for me by Rob Bernanke when we did the BJJ formula, especially the second volume of that, second DVD or the second app, the bottom game one. Super useful. So it's a lot easier to do if you drill it on your own, because that way you're not getting the movements confused. So you're gonna sit up, come onto an elbow, and come onto the side. I like pretending I'm pushing away here, using the elbow. I bring the feet in, I bring my feet as close to my butt as I can, because that'll mean a bigger movement later. And then I escape my hips back. Here. I go onto my elbow, I make a frame, and then bring my feet really tight into my butt, and then shrimp. Essentially, I end up in a butterfly position. Here, here. So it's exactly a shrimping movement. Instead of going here, I'm going here. It's the same movement, except I'm not sideways, flat on the ground. I'm about 45 degrees up off the ground and pivoting off my elbow. Super important movement, make sure you practice it. You're sitting up, making a frame, and doing a hip escape to put the guy back in your guard or to escape from a bad position is a good thing. Then a bigger movement there is an even better thing. So the final drill, the final shrimping motion I'm gonna do is on the hand. So I'm gonna have a hand out like this, like I'm pushing on somebody's leading edge, bring the feet in, and now I can do a really big shrimping motion here, because I'm up on the hand, I'm not on the ground. So here, I make a frame, put my feet to the side, put my knees to the side, my feet are right in against my butt, and now I do the biggest motion I can. Here, here. So you can really cover some big ground here. And if someone's passing your guard, so you're blocking their knee here, a little motion isn't gonna help you. They're still gonna get to your back. But if you do this big motion, you can really get away from somebody, reestablish the space that you need to get your guard back in play, and stop them from passing your guard. So those are 10 ways to shrimp and improve your hip mobility on the ground. I hope you enjoyed them. If you want more tips like this, I do have an email newsletter, which you can sign up for at grapplers.com/newsletter. I send out tons of tips and techniques and training advice, and lots of people like it, and lots of people email me thanking me for the emails that I send them. Bottom line is, if you don't like it, at the bottom of every single email, there's an unsubscribe link. I think it's called Manage Your Subscription. Click on that, unsubscribe, get off my list if you don't like what I'm sending you. So you can try it out, 100% free, there's no risk, you can get off at any time you want. Anyway, good luck to your training, and I'll see you in the next video.